So here we are, and we are at the next step. And I know you've had to do some financial review. You had to really look over the numbers because we talked about how important it is to have a skills development coach. And yes, it can be very costly. So I just want you to process it, make sure it makes sense. And if possible, I think it's very valuable. So now we're gonna get into the next part of this. Now, camps and showcases. These are very, very important. But before we go into it, I just want to give you guys the perception. This is what I hear so often, and I'm going to help you make it make sense, right? So showcases and camps, for example, that are typically hosted by either a group, whether it's Rivals, Scout, any of these different groups, and they'll have these showcases. Or it's maybe a college camp. Just about every college in the country has a camp every summer that they bring hundreds of athletes to. So what I always hear is what? These are fundraisers. These are just ways for the school to make money. This is just, it's a scam, it's a hustle. And here's what I'll say. It could possibly be. It very well could be. If you set a price point, you get 300-400 athletes to attend, that sounds like a pretty lucrative fundraiser to me. So here's what I want you to do. Here's how I want you to process it. We're not just going to eliminate those showcases and those camps. What we're gonna do, we're gonna deep dive and research each one that your student athlete gets invited to. And then we're gonna also research any of those showcases and camps that they did not get invited to, but maybe they should attend it. So here's how we're gonna do it. First things first, once you get the information on the actual showcase or camp, first thing you wanna do is actually research the company or the school. And here's what I mean. The company is going to determine what's the benefit of this. What's the outcome? If this is a Rivals camp, for example, if I go to this camp, if this is a Nike ID camp, I go to this camp, what is going to be the benefit? Not just for me, but what has been the benefit every year? Because most of these camps happen year after year after year. So you want to look, how many athletes from that camp maybe did not have offers going into the camp, but by the end of the camp, they did have an offer. That's a great sign. How many of these camps, if it's a university, how many of these camps did the students that attend end up attending that university? Meaning, were the college coaches really evaluating the athlete? Were they really watching to see if they saw the characteristics of a scholarship student athlete? And if they saw those characteristics, are they ready? Did they offer? Did they offer you that full ride? These are the things that you have to deep dive. Don't just look at the price, because that's not gonna tell the whole story. The whole story is going to come with what the benefit of attending this camp actually is. What was it for the athletes last year? What will it be for my student athlete? Once you make that decision and once you dive into that research, I suggest that you select 3 to 5 camps a year. That's 3 to 5. I don't think you need much more than that. And of course, budget is always something that we have to discuss, and it's gonna cost you a lot of money even for those 3 to 5 camps. But if you do it right, it can be very, very beneficial. Statistics show that athletes that attend these showcases and camps increase their chance of getting a scholarship by 17%. To me, that's a pretty good number. That's a number that we can say it's gonna be worth it, especially after we research and we dive in and we have a better understanding of the benefit of the actual camp or showcase. And here's the last piece. Don't be afraid to reach out to whoever's hosting or having that event. If it's a soccer camp, reach out to the coordinator, the director, ask them questions. Hey, what athletes attended last year? Are there any college coaches gonna be in attendance? Are you sending this information out to college coaches? Are we gonna do any testing, any evaluating? What's gonna be the benefit? What's the main takeaway of me bringing my student athlete to this showcase? That's what you wanna ask. When it comes to the university, here's the key things. University, if they invite you, that's a good sign because they probably have some form of interest in you as a student athlete. So if your athlete gets invited by a university, that's a good step. It doesn't mean everything because they do invite hundreds of athletes. However, if they invite you and you show up and you participate well, you compete, your statistics look good, your testing looks good, it's gonna stand out. It's going to stand out. And that leads me to my final position on showcases and camps. If you're not ready to attend, if you're not physically ready, if you're battling an injury, or if you're just simply, you're out of shape. You've been playing your video game all day. You haven't been eating right. You're just not ready to perform at a high level. Don't waste your time. I'm just gonna tell you, I don't care. Do not go, because it's not worth it. And here's the other piece. If it's a company that's hosting this camp, that information is still going out to all those colleges either way. So whether you go down there, you have a terrible performance or a great performance, the information's out. It's on the internet, you can find it. So if you know you're not prepared, do not go. Same thing with university camps. If a college coach invites you to a camp, the worst thing you can do is show up and not perform. Show up and be out of shape. Show up and they can tell that you have not been committed to getting this scholarship and performing at this event. If that's you, you have to be very, very transparent, very clear with yourself to look in the mirror and say, I'm not ready. I don't care who invited me, I'm not ready. Then the flip side of that is you gotta figure out why you're not ready, because you should have been. At the end of the day, you should be ready. So that's what I'm gonna leave you with so you can process it, because I like for you to process all of this information. Participation in showcases and camps are very beneficial. It can. I've had a number of athletes that attend a university and they leave with a scholarship offer. Like literally get the offer at the end of the camp, literally. So I know there's value in there. I know it for a fact. I've had athletes attend other showcases and get a good rating or get a high score or get a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star review, and all of a sudden college coaches are knocking down the door. So I know there's value. I know 100%, but do your research. Make sure, don't guess, don't spend money, do the research, and then make the best decision for your student athlete.